Hey YouTube and preppers, well, if you've got outdoor projects planned, construction projects, gardening projects, planting projects, whatever you're going to be doing outdoors, you're going to need to be able to rely on the weather to get that done. Let's face it, grid down and you don't have the weather network, you got to learn how to predict it a little bit. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. We'll go over a few things. Alright, well, weather-wise, my first go-to actually isn't even the weather network or the weather channel or whatever. I will check daily highs and daily lows online with whatever agency they're using these days. I think it's Environment Canada or whatever. That'll give me a pretty good idea for the day, but it won't give me much reliability after that. The biggest one I think I use to plan my entire year around is the Farmer's Almanac. I'm not going to show you one yet because I haven't got my 2024 version yet, but they're pretty good at predicting weather patterns. Now, can they predict it right down to the day? No. The week? No. As a matter of fact, when you look through the almanac, you'll see no consistency at all in the number of days that they predict for. They'll take a chunk, it may be 4 days or 3 days, it may be a 10-day chunk. That's because they update things based on what the weather pattern is going to be, not in a particular set amount of time. Now let's face it, when the grid goes down for a long time, the world's gone to hell, there isn't going to be a new publication of the Farmer's Almanac. As good as it is, it just won't be there. So you got to go to other resources. And here's one other resource I like to use. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but up there on top of a pole is a weather data transmitter, and it comes down to this unit that I have in my house. Try to get you a close-up on that. Try to show you what it does. The upper level there is outdoor temperature and humidity. The middle section is your wind speeds, current and peak. That middle section is the barometer and the predictor, and then at the bottom, of course, you have indoor temperature, indoor humidity, and a clock. And it's 2:02 p.m. thereabouts. This section right here in the middle, this is what interests me the most, and that's usually the barometer and the predictor. Right now you can see that we have 29.93 millibars, or whatever the measurement is. I don't pay too much attention to the numbers on it. What I pay the most attention to is the trend, which you can see a little arrow, wrong side, over here. That barometer is on a downward trend, and therefore, because of the warm temperatures, 4 degrees outdoors, and a lowering barometric pressure, we've got a rainstorm coming. And this will predict out about 24 to 48 hours, so 1 to 2 days. So you're not getting a week's worth of weather info here, you're getting a couple days, what it's about to do. It's a great help. This is wireless. I'm not sure if it's a Wi-Fi signal that it uses, or Bluetooth or whatever. But it's got a pretty good range, and it gets from all the way back on that hill into my living room. This is a great one. Now, of course, this may not always work. An EMP comes along, this sucker's fried, the transmitter up there is fried, no more good. What do? How many of you guys have seen one of these hanging in an old house? A good old-fashioned barometer. There we go. Yeah, sure, most of them have got a thermometer on the top of it for your indoor temperature, as well as a hygrometer at the bottom. But the one you want to concentrate on is here, the barometer right in the middle. Again, not worried too much about what the actual number is, it's the trend. Right here, this little dial in the middle, you can move. You can set it to where, say you do this once a day in the morning, you go, oh, okay. It was here, way up. So I'm trending downwards. The next morning you come along, you set that. The next morning you come along and say that needle is moved again further to this side going down. You know your barometric pressure is going down, that's stormy weather coming. If it's going up to this side, nicer weather. It even marks it fair change. What does this one say? I can't read in reverse, but you get the idea. Having one of these, I mean, it may be kind of old-fashioned, but believe me, they work. It's incredible how well you can predict what's about to happen. Again, this is going to give you a day to two out from where you are. You're not going to get that weekly forecast. You're not going to get that monthly thing. You're not going to get that thing that the almanac is great for, which is basically predicting the weather throughout the year. The almanac's a great tool. It lets you plan way in advance. Grid down, world's gone to hell. You're not going to have that. This is probably going to be your main go-to for weather prediction, and it's going to give you a day or two out. That's it. So you're going to have to be able to be flexible, but at least you'll know what's coming. You can't, you can tell. If you planned on planting tomorrow and this barometer is on its way down over to this side, you may want to hold off on those plans and think of something else to do the next day. If it's going up on this side, you're good to go. Now, other than that, I did take a look online at the almanac, and I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment here. The almanac said that right now, the period we're in, it's going to be basically rainy or possibly snow, and that's pretty much what we're getting. It's wet, it's sloppy out here. I'm standing on bare ground. It's been so warm that all the snow has melted from where I'm standing, and the snowpack definitely gone down. There's a rock pile over there that I couldn't see 2 weeks ago. But it's predicted that, and that's what we're in. What interests me more is the prediction for our area, early January. When I get back inside, I'll double check those dates and I'll put those up for you. But there's a snowstorm coming. It said in a period of I think about 3 days, they predicted a snowstorm in early January. So we'll see how that works out. We'll be back in early January. We'll check it out. We'll see how right they were or how wrong they were. In the meantime, be prepared, Canada. It's a tough world out there.